Hello there. Good morning, everybody. We are live. You're welcome to our Saturday live broadcast. I am Samuel Adebayo Adedoyin, and on behalf of me and my wife, Esther Kuganji Adedoyin, we are welcoming you today to this live broadcast. Wherever you are, please join us. We are glad to have you here. It's going to be an interesting topic. It's going to be a wonderful topic. The topic is having the right mindset. Um, and Today specifically, we'll be treating I want to marry because I understand the nature. I understand the nature of men. Please pardon us. I think um, I made a mistake there. It is not I want to marry because I understanding. It's just an error. I understand the nature. I understand the nature of men. So, out. Yeah. Okay. All right then. Let's please wherever you are, try and join us. We are sorry for starting late. We started about 5 minutes late. Um, it's I owe it to you. I owe the apology to you all. Um, Next time we'll make it better. Hello June. Hello Joshua Pandey. It's a great. I'm excited to meet you all today. Hi Kibade Ephraim. Hi June. It's a pleasure meeting you. I hope you had a wonderful time last week when you were celebrating your birthday. Hi Abbas. Senyonjo. Thank you for coming on to our live broadcast. Hi Anaclet Mugisha. Thank you for joining us. Hello William Wandera. Hello, everybody. Hi, Blessing Etham Angel. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah, today, hi, hello, Osaho. It's a great pleasure to see you here. I know you must be tired coming back from work, but it's I give you um, I give you the kudos for trying to connect with us, regardless. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Fred. Hello, Fred Jotembo. Thank you for joining us. All right, we have a limited time and lots of things to talk about. But I pray that God gives me wisdom um, release all that is in my heart to do so, and at the limited time frame. Okay. In the previous weeks, we have been talking about having the right mindset before marriage. Having the right mindset before marriage, and it has been a time of exposition, of sharing, of knowledge, of Esther and her friends have been doing wonderfully well, trying to make the ladies understand what it means, what marriage is all about. That because in Africa especially, it happens also in different parts of the world, but in Africa especially, the institution of marriage is being is being is not given the full understanding, and so though many of us who go into marriage don't go with understanding, and then there is a big lapse, and in the culture at which we are affects the way we see marriage. For example, Africa is dominated by the men in terms of in the culture, right? We give more respect, more attention to the men, so not the women. So it falls back. It falls back on the women. Okay, so women are not given enough respect. All right. So, but we've tried to correct that in several ways. We've tried to talk about it in several ways, and that's why we are here. And thank you also for joining us. Now, quickly, in the previous weeks, we mentioned when we're talking. If you try to recollect, we talked about a bit about the nature of men. If you recollect, when we're talking about the difference between a male and a man, all right? We were saying that that was the topic, under the topic, I want to get married because I am now a man, not a male. Remember? So it is going to be, um, today is going to be much more deeper, okay? So, yeah. So, it's going to be much more deeper. So please, wherever you are, try to join us, and we will be we'll be exploring this matter. Okay, all right. So let's just pick up from here. Now, how do we understand the nature of men? The topic will be understand the nature of men in relation to man himself. Understand the nature of men in relation with women, and understanding the nature of men in relation with the outside world. So today, guys, I'll be speaking about us. All right. If you the things I'm talking about, if you understand it, please just make comments about what I'm speaking about, and it will really help us to really get going. And then the ladies also, please try to understand the things I'm talking about so that you can see how it fits in. Everything I'm talking about may not fit in exactly as you have known or experienced, but nevertheless, it's going to, pick out the things that you associate with, all right? Make comments. Let it be, a forum where we can discuss and it makes it much more interesting. So, we are talking about understanding the nature of men. Now, quickly, squarely, a recap from the older topics. We understood from the old topics that man is created for some basic reasons. Okay, for example, number one, man is a foundation and a pillar. And what does that mean? It means a man is meant to carry burdens. As a foundation, he's supposed to be a ground where other things can be built. For example, we are in a house like this. The house, it was not built on water. Okay, it was built on a solid ground. Okay, so you can't build a house on water without creating something to hold it, for example. Okay, so the ground here, for example, has given us, a platform where the house can be built. What this ground is doing is carrying burdens. So a man is supposed to carry burdens. All right. So he's supposed to carry burdens, and so number two, as a foundation, he is a support to everything. All right. Whatever goes on in that building is a support for that for it. So also speaking about a foundation, A man is a support. If you look at it in the perspective of the family, he is a support to his biological family, the family where he comes from. He's a support to his father, to his mother, to his siblings. All right. Then he is also a support to the family that he forms. All right. That is when he gets married. He's a support to the family where he, where he forms. I mean, the family that he forms. Okay. All right. And finally, he's a support to the outside world, his environment, support to his community, his support to his nation, his support to the outside world. So a man as a foundation is supposed to protect, whatever that will protect what everything that he cares for. All right. So a man as a foundation is a support. He carries burdens and he also protects. That is number one. Number two, a man is also seen as a planter. All right. So see a man as a planter. When I say a planter, he's like a farmer. All right. A farmer goes out to sow seeds. All right. If a farmer goes out to sow seeds, and he doesn't sow seeds just anyhow. A farmer is intentional. A farmer is intentional. He knows the particular kinds of seeds that he wants to sow, and he knows what ground that he's supposed to sow them in. All right. So we can say that as a man is an initiator. A man is an initiator. A man initiates ideas. A man has dreams. A man has goals. A man has visions. A man is, I told you earlier that a man carries burdens, all right? In his mind, he carries burdens. And then the burdens, he transforms them, into activities, into mental pictures. The mental pictures, he put them into action. Okay, I will talk about that very quickly. All right. So a man is an initiator. He's supposed to initiate ideas, plans, goals. See a man as a verb. A verb is an action word, right? Okay. So a man is always trying to act. Is always doing. All right. Now, the doing may not always be physical or seen all around him. A man, it can be an inaction, or it can be something that is done within his mind. But whatever way you look at it, a man is always doing something. Okay, a man is always doing something. So please, I'm just doing a recap of what we did earlier, because it will lay the foundation of this topic. Okay. All right. As a man is also a planter. For example, when a man is ripe, full of age, is ready biologically, physically, intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and financially as well. He goes ahead, he leaves his parents, and he goes to marry a woman, all right? And then he plants his seed in her, his seed that to procreate, all right? So a man is a planter, he's like a farmer, okay? All right? Now, but this is just an example, okay? So procreating is not the only function of men. Some men who don't have enough understanding and enough knowledge, they think that when they just grow up, when their hormones start kicking, they are ready to just go and plant their seeds. No, planting seed is something that is done strategically. If you plant your seed anyhow, you can get anyhow results. Okay, that is why it is important that as a man, even though you're supposed to plant your seeds, it must be done when you are ready. You have to count the cost of doing something before you go ahead and you do it. The last point I want to quickly recap on as a man is that a man is a father. A man is a father. A man is supposed to perform the function of a father, and a father provides, a father protects, a father gives security, a father cares, has compassion. A father has compassion. So, as a father, he provides. He provides. I talked about him being a what's it called? Being a base, being a ground, being a foundation. All right. So a foundation provides nutrients to the plants, the vegetation that is being sown. Okay. So a man is seen like that. A man provides, you know, things, provides support. He provides everything to sustain, not maybe not everything, but at least most things to sustain a family, to sustain the community, to sustain the environment, to sustain the nation, to sustain the world. Okay, that is the function of a man. A man provides security. A man protects. All right. A man creates a stable environment all around him. A natural man does not sleep anyhow. A natural man does not sleep anyhow. A natural man will ensure that his environment is safe before he rests. He safeguards his environment. Now, these three basic reasons I have given. What are the reasons? Number one, that a man is a foundation. Number two, that a man is a planter. Number three, that a man is a foundation. These three basic reasons, becomes a goal that is very important to men. It becomes a goal that is very important to men. Every man strives. Every man does all that he can do to prove that he can do these three things. Every man strives. Every man does all in his power to prove that he can do these three things. Now, studies have shown. I read a study about the male and female. All right. What really differentiates a male from a female is basically the wiring, basically the hormones that both of them carry. Now, both of them carry two kinds of hormones, testosterone and estrogen. Now, I was speaking last week, not last week, some time back, I think 2 weeks ago, about women. And the hormone in women, estrogen, helps them in having a menstrual cycle. It affects their menstrual cycle. Okay, not just menstrual cycle alone, but it wires, it sends signals, it sends different different things in women that makes women behave the way they behave. All right. So I was seeing, for example, the reason why you see a woman in a month, that this week she's very happy, she's jovial, she's comfortable, she's moving around, she's welcoming people, and in the next week or in the weeks that follow, she withdraws to herself. She's irritable. She's moody. It's because of the reactions of the hormones in her body system. All right, giving her different kinds of moods, giving her different kinds of feeling, and she herself may not even know what is going on within her. The reasons why she is irritable, the reasons why she's a bit temperamental, and things like that. But it's as a result of what's going on. Now, both male and female have progesterone, testosterone and estrogen. Testosterone and estrogen, but at different levels. The study I read shows that from the baby in the fetus, from the fetus stage, when the baby is being formed in the body of the mother, the activities of testosterone forms every part of him. It affects his brain and affects the way that his brain is being structured. Okay? The activities of estrogen also does the same for the girl child. Okay? Now, when the child is born, both of them behave the same way. All right? Sorry, when a child is born, both of them, you see them, they behave the way a baby is supposed to behave. But when you take careful analysis, not all babies behave the same way. For example, when you see a girl child will like a still picture, usually faces. The girl child will quickly will like it, appeals to the girl child. All right, okay, but for the boy child, a boy child is moved by moving objects. Okay, by moving objects. So when you see something that is moving, he is attracted. When something that is moving, he is attracted. He is not really attracted when something is still. Okay, so that is why, if you notice carefully, this is one of the the differences between the girl child and the. Why am I talking about all these things? Is because women and men are totally different, not just in the way we look physically, but in the way we behave, in everything about us. All right. We may be speaking the same language, but there are different meanings to what we are saying. But we will continue as we go on. All right. So please, if you are with us today, we would like you to please make comments, and if you are getting along with what we are doing, please try to show that you understand what we are doing, and make your comments. If you have questions as well, you can please ask your questions. If somebody else on the platform wants to respond, you are free to respond. It's a free world. Let's just structure whatever it is that we dish out. That is really, really important. Okay. All right. So now, I said earlier that the functions of a man makes him becomes a goal that he just wants to achieve, that he just wants to achieve. Now, I am not talking about a man that is not trained up to be a man. I'm sorry to use that statement, but we have cases where a boy child is not trained up to be a man. All right, a boy child is not given attention to the way he's supposed to, so that he can represent, even though he has the innate ability, even though he has the innate ability to become a man, he functions more towards what the society, the family, or his or what life has brought towards him. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about just mere males. I'm not talking about disillusioned thinking that about men, that a man, for example, is a figurehead. All right. No, no, no. I am talking about the real men created by God and nurtured by his principles. For a man to feel good about himself, he must achieve these goals I've mentioned: the goals of being a father, the goals of being a planter, the goals of being of being a foundation. All right. And one of the unique things that everybody must understand about men is that while a man is trying to achieve being a father, achieve being a planter, achieve being a foundation, he must do it by himself. Please let us underline that. A man must do it by himself. If people are doing it for him, in his mind, he is not satisfied. It could be acceptable to him in one way or the other, but he will not be satisfied. So men pride themselves in doing things all by themselves. Men pride themselves in doing things all by themselves. So it is you can show, so if you want to help a man, for example, you know you can show support to him in one way or the other, but it doesn't give him pleasure. It gives him pleasure when he's able to do something all by himself and achieve results. Okay, so autonomy is a symbol of efficiency for the man. Autonomy is a symbol of power for the man. Autonomy is a symbol of competency for the man. I'll take that again. Autonomy is a symbol of efficiency for a man, no matter who the man is, all right? Autonomy is a symbol of power for the man. Autonomy is a symbol of competency for the man. So, don't expect men to always, to always go around like women. Women associate themselves with other women. They have cliques. The reason why you don't have men all the time forming cliques, joining forces together, is because men are very different in their minds. They only come together on some very, very important issues. All right. But a man will try to achieve his autonomy. Now, for a man, asking for help when he can do something is perceived to him as a sign of weakness. Asking for help is perceived to him as a sign of weakness. So, for those who are married, for example, you will see that a man seldom asks for help from their wives. All right, and why is it so? It's so because naturally he thinks he can do something. Okay, now I'm not saying that a man shouldn't ask for help. No, I'm saying that naturally a man does not do that because that doesn't give him pleasure. All right. But if he goes all the way to ask, you know, and if he goes all the way to ask a woman for help, then it means it's a sign of wisdom to him. Okay, it's a sign of wisdom to him. So if you, for example, try to offer a man unsolicited advice, if a man does not give you ask you for advice, and you want to show your skill by going to meet him and say, okay, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? He may be smiling, he may be, but it doesn't get at him. It doesn't really get at unless he comes to you and says, how can I do this thing? That means he has, for a man to even go that far, it means he has thought about it. It means he has tried to do it. It means he has done all his best to achieve it, and he can't do it. And if he now comes and approaches you, that is the best time to give him advice or to try to help out. But don't go and help him when he hasn't asked you for help. That is the nature of a man. If you are planning to get married, you have to know this about a man. You have to know this about a man. Okay? Now, so what does that mean? A man usually thinks of competency. A man usually thinks of competency. Now, when we're listening some time ago, I think last year or 2 years ago, when DSA was speaking about men and was giving us the understanding about men, he spoke about some of these things I'm talking about. He talked about if a man goes out to seek for help, he is very selective. So I mentioned him asking his wife. Few men will go and ask their wives. All right? And a man will ask his wife for help because of just one thing. Because he trusts his wife. A man will not go and ask for help from anybody if he doesn't trust the person. If he doesn't trust the person, if he doesn't respect the person, he won't go and ask for help. Okay? But a real man will go out and ask for help from somebody that he believes can give him wisdom and advice. And you see, other men will not try to help him unless he comes up openly to meet them. And those men that is when they will also be proud about themselves, that they can help out, all right? And then they will give out their advice, okay? So this is just the natural traits of men, okay? This is just a natural trait of men. Now, let's really talk about the issues with stress. How does a man deal with stress? A man deals with stress much more differently from the way a woman deals with stress. For example, how does a man cope with stress? Men naturally become focused when they are stressed. It's an irony, but that is the issue. They become focused not on everything, focused on one single thing. And their focus it starts with their minds. it affects their mood. You know, when I was speaking to my wife some time ago, I tried to give us a description. I said the way I reason, or the way I perceive things. I perceive things as a picture. All right. Well, if something is bothering me, I focus on one thing. All right, and I try to solve that thing. When I'm trying to solve that thing, every other thing is blurred. Every other thing is blurred. They may be important, but I don't focus on them. My focus is on that one thing. Every other things become blur in my mind. And this is the same thing that happens to most, if not all men as well. You don't see men gallivanting all around, trying to achieve everything, trying to solve everything, because they know that they can't do it. All right, they're not wired to do it. They are wired to focus on one or two things and then they try to achieve that thing. If you look at the difference between a man and a woman, the way our brains are being structured is this. A man thinks straight, all right? A man thinks straight, but a woman does not think that way. A woman thinks in greeds. That's a greed, all right? So now, if a woman is thinking this way, and a man is thinking just like this, you see that there's a clear difference. A woman can be saying something, a man is not trying to catch what she is saying, because the way her brain is designed is much more different. Okay, now, how does a man cope with stress? A man becomes increasingly focused on trying to figure out his struggles. And how does he do that? He withdraws to himself. A man withdraws to himself. A man withdraws to himself. He needs time to process his troubles. He needs time to think about his troubles. So if he goes out in the morning trying to solve his problem and he comes back, all right, and he has not achieved it, he is withdrawn to himself. It affects his mood at home. And you know, that is the time that a woman wants to talk with the man. A man does not want to talk. A man just wants to rest. A man just wants to relax. Don't give him a job to do. Don't say, I'm cleaning the house, come and join me to clean the house, or you are messing up with his system. Don't do that. Okay? Just let him be. Okay? Because he is stressed. He needs time to relax. All right? He can go and lie down somewhere. He can look for something to distract him, depending on his temperament. If he's an extrovert, he may go out again. He may go and watch football, or he may go out with his friends, or he may do an activity, with other people. If he's an introvert, he may just go and shut himself up in his room. Okay, or he may just look for something to distract him, for him not to be thinking about it, because all day long he has been thinking about the problem. So he's looking for something to make him to relax, to make his brain to relax. He's not looking for something to put him into pressure. So ladies, if you're planning to marry, okay, just understand this nature of men, that when they are dealing with stress, they are withdrawn. It will be difficult for them to show emotions. Yes, if they are romantic people, they can kiss you, they can hug you, When they are listening to you, they are not there. They are not there. Okay, they are far. Their mind is on that thing. Okay, and you can't blame them. It's the way they are wired. You have to understand their nature. If you understand this basic thing about men, then you will reduce your quarreling with men. Reduce your quarreling with men, because if you are planning to marry and you don't have this right mindset about men, you will have big problems. So when a man is stressed, he withdraws into his solitary mind and focuses on solving his problem. Now, a man would likely pick the most urgent problem, like I said, or the most difficult problem, and be focused on it, to try to solve it. All right. Every other things become blurred. Every other thing becomes blurred. Whatever you bring to him, okay, it's okay, I will do it. If he leaves it aside, he just focuses on that one single thing. Now, so that is how a man, deals with stress. Now, while he is doing that, he is relaxing, he is cooling down. Okay, so that he is trying to regain his energy. That so that by the next day, maybe you have heard of this statement whereby it says when you talk to somebody, a man, he said, okay, I will sleep over it. Sleeping over it means that he will think about it. He will, look for a way to solve it. And that means he needs time to process it in his mind. So by the end of the day, he just goes to rest. So from night till morning, there's a possibility that he may have an answer the following day. He has regained his strength the following day. The following day, he goes again to try to solve his problem. So why am I talking about this thing? It is very important for us to understand the nature of men. At that time, don't give them trouble. At that time, don't give them extra work to do. You are going to look for. You are look. It means that it means that you are looking for trouble. It means that you are creating more problems for yourself because you will not get the right answer from them. And of course, women at that time are maybe they want to talk. Women are natural relationship people. They want to keep their relationship going. Women want to relate. They want to do this or they want to do that. Okay. Now, what frustrates a man? What frustrates a man? Number one, what frustrates a man is when he can't do anything to solve a problem. That frustrates a man. When he has tried everything in his power to do something, it frustrates him. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what frustrates a man? When his wife is talking to him endlessly, it frustrates him because he doesn't know where she's going. You see, a woman thinks in grids. A man thinks straightforward. All right. So it frustrates him because she's speaking about this, she's speaking about that. He doesn't understand what the woman is saying. And it's not his fault. It is the way his brain is designed. And it's also not the fault of the woman. It is the way her brain is designed. All right. But it frustrates a man when a man can't understand what the wife is saying and when the woman is speaking endlessly. Number three, what frustrates a man? It frustrates a man when his wife keeps jumping from one topic that is not connected with the other at the same time. For example, she's speaking about A in the first minute. The next minute, she jumps to B. She jumps to C, she jumps to D, and she comes back to A, she goes back to C. It just moves like that. It frustrates his mind, it complicates his mind. He is frustrated. All right, that frustrates a man. Okay, now I'll be talking about how to manage it anyway. Okay, now what frustrates a man? Listening, the illogicality of what a woman is saying. You understand? Frustrate him. That is, if he cannot, to him it is illogical, where he cannot connect them all, it frustrates him. All right? Okay, so how, if you want to get married, how do you manage it? If you want to get married, want to talk to a man, quickly give him the headline. Give him the headline. Give him the main thing. Then you can now talk about the details of the main thing. My wife is good at this, I must say. All right. But so most ladies, don't know how to do this. Give the man the headline. All right. Give him the main thing. Then go in details. Go in details. Go in details. And when you are going in details, understand that he's listening to you, but he has got the message. So the other things that you are saying, they are just, to him, they're not really important. He has got the message. And for him, if he has got the message, of every other thing is irrelevant. Okay? Every other thing is irrelevant. Okay. Now let's see what our people are saying. Hello, Irene is saying, women are blessed with a huge capacity to deal with a million things at a time. Yeah, thank you, Irene. That is something that is really, really. June says, I have noticed that when a man is facing a challenge, everything else around comes to a standstill. No interaction with children, doesn't want to talk much, but women can still be under pressure but still think about other things as though all is well. That is really, really, really true. Okay, that is really, really true. Hello, Tumishabe. Thank you for joining us. Anyway, no problem. You can watch it much more later. Okay. Okay. So let's. Yes. Okay. As Esther is saying, when his wife is talking about different topics which are not connected, this confuses him because he cannot connect them all. Cannot understand what the wife is saying, how to solve his problem. So give the headlines first or summarize it, then give the details afterwards. Yes. All right. Now I have a few more things to talk about. I know I have limited time, but please, if you're on this platform, please give me some of your time. All right. Or you can come back and watch it much later. But let me dish it out here because I may not have other opportunities to do so. Okay. Now, when it comes to responsibility, how can we understand a man? When a man doesn't feel he is making a positive difference in someone else's life, it is hard for him to continue caring about his own life and other relationships. That's an irony. What do I mean? If, for example, if a man has, if you're in a relationship with a man, and a man tries to do something for you the first time, you don't accept it or you don't appreciate it, the man will, for the benefit of that he cares, he loves, He wants to show that he is there for you. He can swallow it. The second time, if he tries it and there is a similar response, all right. Next time, there may not be a third time. There may not be a third time. It is hard for a man to continue to try to do something when he knows that he is not appreciated, he is not welcome, he is not respected. All right? So it does not motivate him. Life becomes difficult for him because his natural traits of being a father is not being fulfilled. So to become motivated again, it means he needs to feel he is appreciated, he is trusted, and he is accepted. If you are dealing with men and you try to do something, I mean, you as a woman, if you try to, or even another man, maybe a younger man, if you have tried to do something and the person has not accepted, he has given an advice. The first time, the second time, he will keep quiet. All right? If you go back to him and ask him for help, he will want to be sure you need that help. Because you have demotivated him earlier. So he thinks that you will not accept his help. So what you need to be he needs to affirm that you really want him to do that thing. Okay? He really wants to, and he may, for this to happen, he may even give you a target. It's okay. The first advice I gave you earlier, go and do it. If you go and do it and you show me results, then I will try to help you. Okay? That may be a test to see if you really want him to do something. Okay? So because he wants to really be motivated again, and to be motivated again is not that easy. Okay? To be motivated again is not that easy. So while you are planning whatever it is you are doing, if you involve your man just to be a figurehead, not make him actively helping you, know that he will not appreciate it. A man is not meant to be a figurehead. A man is supposed to be engaged, be involved. Okay? All right. Now, most men have little awareness of how important it is to a woman to feel supported by someone who cares. Women are happy when they believe their needs will be met. But you see, the problem with women is they have a problem, and it is something that has happened to them and has affected them from childhood. Especially in homes where women or the girl child is not given enough attention, enough love, enough self-respect. Okay? What do I mean? If you don't give a girl child, enough attention, if you don't allow her to speak freely or express herself, in her mind, she will think she is not appreciated. She will think she is not supported. She will think she is not she does not count. So her self-worth is reduced. She is looking for a way to affirm herself. Okay? She's looking for a way to be sure she is valued. All right? And then, but at the other end, she is afraid of showing this thing. So if she comes to her man, okay, she is afraid that this man won't give her what she wants. She won't give her the attention she wants. He won't treat her so special. Okay. Now, you see this characteristic of women is the same problem that a man has as well. It is an irony, but if you are a lady and you are having that kind of thinking, that kind of feeling, and it doesn't give you enough boldness to ask for what you want from a man, okay? Sometimes a woman may want something, but she's asking for something else, okay? So in Nigeria, where I come from, if a woman is demanding too much, for example, she doesn't know how to express her needs of attention, her needs of fellowship, of relationship. And so she goes to the man and she demands money because, and the man thinks, okay, all that she wants is just money. But that is wrong, okay? It is because she doesn't have the right approach. She doesn't know how to express herself, all right? Now, you see, this attitude, is a big problem to her, all right? And the other way around too, the men also have this kind of, problem, but it is the other way around. A man naturally wants to give. A man wants to show respect. A man wants to show love, wants to care. But in the process of a woman trying to ask for what she wants, she shows so much emotions. She shows herself to be too demanding, or she shows herself to be shut away or be moody. So a man thinks this woman doesn't value him. Meanwhile, she values him. Meanwhile, she wants him, but she is doing it the wrong way. She is unconsciously pushing him away when she's supposed to draw him closer. And that's a big problem. The man is trying to come closer, but the attitude of the woman is drawing him away, is chasing him away. Because in his mind, he thinks the woman does not want him or does not value him. Okay, for example, if you see some relationships before it leads to marriage, okay, a man may be dating a lady. He may love the lady. The lady may love the man. But he is afraid of asking the lady for her hand in marriage. Why is this so? Because he is not totally sure that this woman, even if she says yes, he's not totally sure that this woman really, really wants him. So he is afraid to ask her to marry him. Not because he can't ask her, not because he's not bold enough, not because he is not man enough, but because he is not certain, because every man wants to be a hero. Every man wants to be treated as a king. All right. So if the woman does not, if he doesn't really affirm that this woman really wants him, then he will you will find it very difficult to ask her hand in marriage. Okay? All right. Great. So I have tried to understand now. What should a woman do in this wise? Women, I'm trying to balance the equation here. If you notice, I am not on any one side, not on the man's side, not on the woman's side. I'm looking for a balanced level at which both of them can relate well. Okay, so in this kind of situation, how should a woman relate with a man? Number one, try to be polite to them. Try to be polite to a man. Try to be respectful and be courteous to a man. If you do this, you open the door. You are inviting him to draw nearer to you. So for people who want to get married, you must know these things. The women who want to get married must have this understanding. If you want to connect, if you want to relate very well, if you want to show how you are feeling, if you want to express yourself very well to a man, always try to be polite. Always try to be respectful. Always try to be courteous. Okay? Please don't be rough with men. I understand that your emotions are running, they are kicking, they are wild, but it is a woman who knows how to control her emotions that men usually want. Not a woman who speaks out of her emotions without thinking. Okay? All right? So don't be rough. Even if you're not satisfied with men, or even if you think that a man would behave this way, don't be rough with them. Be gentle, be calm, express yourself. Try and be heard. Try and be understood. Don't be rough. Okay? Number 3, stop blaming men. Stop accusing men. Instead, try to talk things through with them. Try to talk things through with them. If you are accustomed to using extreme adjectives, for example, you say, you never do this, or you always do this. Try and look for other ways you can communicate the same thing, but in a different way without using extreme adjectives. This is something that you must try to do. Because if you don't do this, what you are doing is you are chasing your man away. You are driving men away. You won't get even the best of the best men who are patient, there's a level that they will not be able to take it any longer. All right. So what should you do? You should try to, calm down and express yourself. All right. Try and don't use extreme adjectives. Okay. Now, if you do this thing, men will think that you don't appreciate them, because in the real sense, they are there really to meet your needs. All right. But unfortunately, most men don't know how to. You must show them the door. You must show them the way to do that. So the final thing I want to give to you is, please, ladies, forgive your fathers. Forgive your brothers. Forgive the men who have dealt with you roughly in the time past. because it is because men and women are different, and a man, when he's talking to a woman, especially unless he is taught, he thinks that a woman behaves the way a man behaves. A woman also the same way. A woman, when he's talking to a man, she thinks that a man behaves or thinks the way a woman behaves, not knowing that they are both different in so many ways. So what should we do? Try and forgive all our imperfections, and see how you can learn from each other, see how you can move on. Okay, now quickly before we go, I will mention a few more irony about men, something that every woman should know. And some men also may not know this. They may just experience it, but they may not be able to place it. Okay? All right. One of them is this. Men are basically motivated when they are needed. But the irony is this. They run away from asking too much. Men are primarily motivated when they are needed, but they run away when they are being asked too much. All right? And why is this so? Because they can only give at a time. They can't give everything. They feel that they are dying. They can only give something at a time. All right? They can only give something at a time. But in the other way around, a woman has needs. A woman wants to express herself. A woman wants to show so many things that she's experiencing. She wants her relationship to be going. All right? But when a man differentiates needs from neediness. Neediness, what does it mean? Asking too much. Having the attitude of always wanting, always needing, always demanding. A woman shouldn't have that mindset. If a woman has that mindset or is doing that, she may be doing that unconsciously to express herself, but you are driving the man away. So what should you do? One at a time. One at a time. And that one, make it special to him. For example, you want attention, or you want, you can say, for example, if you want romance, you want to go out, you feel like going out. Don't say, we never go out, we never do this. No, rather do it this way. Say, why don't we go out for something like this? Why don't you have a date at, it means you are suggesting ideas to the man, for the man to think that you need it. Okay? That is the best way to handle such kind of things. All right. Number 2 irony is this. You must understand that I have told you that the way a man's brain is wired is different from the way a woman's brain. A man is wired in such a way that he thinks straight, but a woman thinks in greed. All right? A woman thinks in greed. Now, what does that mean? Okay, because a woman thinks in greed, she doesn't quickly remember what a man did for her, a few hours ago or a few days ago. Because she wants something else, she uses words like, why do you always do this? Or why don't I always get this? Why don't I? So she's always speaking out of her needs. All right. She is not considering other things that the man has done. Meanwhile, the language of the man is, what do you mean? Last week we still went out together. What do you mean we never go out? You understand? He doesn't get it. A man is particular about things. A man is not like that. All right. So that's an irony between those relationships. Okay. Now, quickly, let's understand how men treat so when a lady is treating a man, he treats a man, for example, a lady wants to communicate with a man. A woman has asked a man a question. The man doesn't have answers immediately. He needs to think about what the woman has asked her. He needs to first understand what the woman is asking. He needs to now think for a possible solution. And then even if he has got a solution, he needs to think of how best to let the woman know what he is trying to say. But you see, a woman has asked a question direct. The way her brain is being designed, it is being designed in such a way that she's able to say so many things in just a little time frame. Okay? Now, she has said what she wants. She's waiting for an answer. She wants to get the answer instantly. But the problem is, men can't give instant answers because, number one, they are not Google. Number two, they are not Siri. Number three, they are not the Holy Spirit. Even the Holy Spirit doesn't give expert answers just like that. Okay? Now, what am I talking about? You must learn to give a man time. You must learn to give a man time. Time to process things. A man may give you answer after thinking about something the next minute, in the next 30 minutes, okay? Or it may even take him a long time to be able to answer that question. It may even take him a year to answer a particular kind of question. I know some questions that my wife has asked me, I could not give her an instant answer. Okay? I just said, well, I just look for a way to go around it because at that time there was no answer. But I have thought about that same question over and over again. That after a long while, I got the answer. So when at some point I told her, you remember this, you remember that, okay, this is the answer. This is why. This is what I am thinking about. Why? Because we are different. All right. Now, what should men do in order to help women understand the nature of women that they need instant answers? Try to make this okay. If you cannot give an answer immediately, tell her, okay, I will think about this. I don't have an answer now, but I will look for a way to give you the answer. The lady say, oh, she may want the answer right now. Just try to calm her down and make her to realize that it's not a decision to be made out of a haste. You will notice that any decision that you make out of haste usually is not good. So you need time to process it. Okay, the ladies should also understand that they need to relax. Give your men time. If it is an issue that is urgent, that needs a quick answer, then stipulate it. Let it be clearly known to the man that this matter is urgent. It needs a quick answer. Then don't make all matters urgent, because the man will say, oh, you're not being realistic. All right. So only make urgent what is urgent. And then what can be given time, give it time. And tell him that you need the answer within this time frame. Okay? All right. So, Osahan says, when correcting, men hate open rebuke. When correcting people, correct with love. Osahan is 100% correct. Men hate open rebuke. What you are doing for a man when you rebuke him publicly is you are killing his esteem, his personal esteem. You are killing it. Okay. So even if you are angry with a man, deal with him in private. Don't talk roughly with a man outside. Don't show your emotions that you are angry with a man publicly. If you do that, you have killed the man. You have killed the esteem of the man. The man may later be laid along with you, but to regain that esteem, to regain that trust, to regain that dignity, it may take a long time, because a man builds all these things over time. It doesn't just happen. Okay, and I know this also is also the same with a lady as well. Actually, you don't openly rebuke a lady as well. It is not about men alone. It is both sides. It's both sides. So when correcting people, correct with love. Some women don't care who is around. They can shout and correct their men rudely in the presence of friends. Yes. I know this. I know, because most of the time they are frustrated. All right. It is because most of the time they are frustrated. But nevertheless, there should be a balance. There should be a balance. All right. I think I'll mention one more point, and then we'll come to a close. All right. So okay, let's do it this way. The issue with sex. The issue with sex. A man is wired to be a planter. A man is wired to be a planter. A man that is not taught that he is supposed to be a strategist in planting seeds. He just moves around and goes to plant seeds anyhow. That is why it is so easy for him to sleep with any woman. That is wrong. That is wrong. It means, number one, you don't value yourself. Number two, you don't value your seeds. Number three, you don't value your life. Okay? Few men are able to hold themselves. That is why it is difficult for you to find men who are still virgins at old age. It is difficult. If you find a man at 30, at 35, he has not slept with a woman, respect that man. Please respect that man. Please respect that man. It means he is able to control himself. It means he values himself. It means he understands what life is all about. So if a man is able to control himself, please respect that man. Because from the moment a man hits puberty, he is attracted sexually to women. And puberty begins for a man from 15. Just imagine when a boy, a teenager is walking around, okay? And he's seeing different attractions here and there. And his manhood is gaining strength, is gaining power most of the time. All right? And he's able to correct himself. He's able to still keep himself. All right? That man is supposed to be praised, honored, respected. All right? Now, why am I saying this? A man is a planter. A man plants his seed only on special places, on special grounds, where he knows, where he has confidence that his seed will be well nurtured, his seed will gain enough and valuable nutrients, his seed will be well protected, where the wind will not blow away his seed. All right. So this is the real nature of men. It is wrong for a man to go around sleeping with other women, all because he is gaining erection. It is very, very wrong. So I do not support men moving all around and sleeping with women. Okay? Now, there are so many troubles that a man goes through, especially when it comes to keeping himself unspotted from the world, keeping himself, undefiled. Okay? The issue of masturbation is one. The issue of masturbation is one. You see, even DSA says that every man has a problem of masturbation. Masturbation is not only when he tries to stimulate himself and he wets himself. Okay? It is far beyond that. There are most times when a man wakes up and his semen has already poured out of him. Okay? Because his what's it called? His sperm count is full. It's naturally, biologically, it needs to be released. Okay? And because biologically he doesn't have a place to do that, because he is keeping himself nature has to take place. Okay? So this is one thing with men. But nevertheless, this kind of situation, if you hear about issues of masturbation, try to understand what's going on. I'm not saying that men should go ahead and stimulate themselves, all right, and so that their semen can be wasted. No, all right. But I am saying that men should try to contain themselves, whoever they are. Men should try to contain themselves, and their women should also understand them. Okay? Just like you have a natural flow as a woman monthly, a man also needs to flow, also has his flow, but it is different from the way you have yours. See it that way. Okay? See it that way. All right. This will bring us to the end of this topic today. I believe that it's a topic that really needs much more conversation. Much more conversation. I believe that it's something that must be talked. If we have opportunities in the future, we may invite guests to talk about this matter, so that we look at it in depth. We look at it in depth, so that we look at the nitty-gritties of this matter, and we share it. We talk about these things. These are things that are really, really, really important. If you want to have the right mindset before marriage, as a woman, and even as a man as well, you must understand the nature of men. You must understand the nature of men. Please don't run into marriage without understanding the nature of men. The few points I have given is not enough for having just an understanding. Please, action point. Ladies and other men, do a further research about men. Do a further research about the biological traits of men, okay, and the psychological, activities of men, and how both of them work together, and how men, are supposed to behave. That is in terms of the physical thing. Then in the real sense as well, we should also look at the real ideas, the most important reasons for men. What is a man called to do? All right. I've mentioned the three things that are basic, but they are just basic. They are things that can be talked about much more later. So thank you everybody for coming on the platform. Those I was able to mention, those I was able to welcome. I was not able to mention them. I saw some other few people like Bikobere, Lydia, Richard Kamoga, and Mwanga Geoffrey. I believe that you just came in, or you came in late, but nevertheless, please, after this broadcast, try and play it back. It will be, you always have it on the page. So thank you all for joining us today. Next week we'll be here again with something much more interesting. We'll give you an announcement. My wife is a superwoman in doing this, and I believe that we are called to do this as well. So please, we love you. We care about you. We want our society to change. We want a well transformed society, and we will do all in our best, to see this happen. Thank you, Sister Chinwe, for for joining us. We always appreciate you for being here. Thank you, our loved ones. We bless you. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, stay blessed. Goodbye.